Listen, it was the speech that he should have given a year ago. He said when he ran in 2020 that he intended to be a transitional president. And so we took him at his word, and we always thought that it would be best for him to pass the torch and take the gold watch and, walk off stage and preserve a admittedly very good legacy. And he threatened to lose that legacy by running for a second term. So it came really late, but it came, and people, particularly in the Democratic Party, are really excited about it.
So George Bush recently made an announcement where he cleared up that who he is supporting this election, and will also talk about his feud with Donald Trump. But before we move, I have a request to make. Please subscribe to the Talking Telegraph for more such videos. It was a moment nobody expected. Once the undisputed king of massive political rallies, Donald Trump faced one of the most humiliating moments of his campaign. As he stood on stage delivering yet another of his signature speeches, the unthinkable happened. His supporters began to walk out. The seats, which were supposed to be filled with fervent fans, were suddenly more loyal to Trump than the crowd itself. This rally, intended to reignite his campaign, became a symbol of something much more significant. The unraveling of Trump's once ironclad grip on his base. Over the past few months, Donald Trump has faced an unprecedented decline in support, not only from voters, but also from members of his own party. The 2024 election cycle has introduced a new dynamic into the political landscape, one in which Trump is no longer the uncontested leader of the Republican Party. In this video, we'll break down exactly how Trump's rallies have gone from overflowing stadiums to nearly empty venues, and how this has shaken his standing among Republican voters. To understand what's happening to Trump's campaign, it's important to take a closer look at both the external and internal pressures he's facing. On one side, Kamala Harris has emerged as a powerful force in the Democratic Party, drawing large, enthusiastic crowds to her rallies. On the other side, several prominent Republicans, many of whom served under previous GOP administrations, are speaking out against Trump's leadership. This internal rebellion has created deep divisions within the party, and as Trump continues to lose the support of key Republicans, it's becoming clear that his path to re-election is anything but certain. Trump's rally struggles. Trump's rallies have always been central to his campaign strategy. These events are where he generates excitement, solidifies his base, and connects with his supporters on a personal level. But lately, something has changed. Instead of the massive crowds that once packed arenas to capacity, Trump is now speaking to half-empty venues. Attendees are leaving early, and the energy that once electrified the room is noticeably absent. This phenomenon has not gone unnoticed, with political analysts and media outlets beginning to question whether Trump's base is finally starting to desert him. The change in crowd dynamics has been subtle but significant. At first, the decline was masked by clever camera angles and selective footage that focused on the most energetic parts of the crowd. However, as the empty spaces in the audience have grown larger, even Trump's own media team has struggled to hide the reality. This new trend raises serious questions about whether Trump's brand of populism is losing its appeal and what that could mean for his chances in the 2024 election. The tipping point came during a rally in Nevada, where Trump's struggle to maintain control of his audience was on full display. The event, held at a relatively small venue with a capacity of 3,000 people, was meant to energize his base ahead of the upcoming primary elections. However, as the rally progressed, something unexpected happened. People started leaving. Trump's speech, filled with the same fiery rhetoric that had worked so well in the past, seemed to fall flat.
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump took to the stage and was greeted by a roaring crowd. As is typical with his rallies, every seat was packed with people holding signs and wearing Trump gear. But Trump didn't retain the crowd he started with. By the end of his 1-hour, 45-minute speech, many had already left. Photos appeared to show entire sections of the 8,000-seat arena nearly empty.
As attendees began to exit the venue, Trump's frustration became visible. By the time the rally was over, large sections of the venue were empty, and the footage of the event quickly made its way to social media. This was more than just a bad day for Trump. It was a sign that his grip on his core supporters might be slipping. The image of empty seats, once unthinkable at a Trump rally, has since become a symbol of his declining popularity. One particular video clip from the Nevada rally went viral, capturing the attention of both Trump supporters and critics alike. The clip, which showed rows of empty chairs and a visibly disinterested crowd, was shared by a Twitter user who remarked on how far Trump's rallies had fallen. The video quickly gained traction, being retweeted thousands of times and even making its way into mainstream media coverage. This video, more than any other piece of footage from the rally, became a focal point for discussions about Trump's campaign. Political pundits debated whether this was a temporary setback or a sign of things to come. For many, it was the first clear indication that Trump's once unshakable base might be starting to erode. Kamala Harris wasted no time seizing the moment. The vice president, who has been rising in popularity within the Democratic Party, Harris, whose own rallies have been drawing larger and more enthusiastic crowds, has positioned herself as the anti-Trump figure in the 2024 election. Her quick response to the Nevada rally video was a calculated move, aimed at showcasing the contrast between her campaign and Trump's. Harris's social media presence has become a powerful tool in her campaign, and her retweet of the viral clip helped fuel the conversation about Trump's faltering rallies. For Harris, this was more than just a social media post. It was a strategic move to highlight her momentum at a time when Trump's campaign seemed to be losing steam.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems.
Oh, she had a big crowd. Oh, the crowd.
This weird obsession with crowd sizes. America's ready for a new chapter. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
Republican opposition to Trump. While Trump's struggles at his rallies are concerning, they are only part of the story. Perhaps even more damaging is the growing opposition he faces within his own party. Over the past several months, prominent Republicans, many of whom served under previous GOP administrations, have started speaking out against Trump. This is not the typical opposition one might expect from rival political figures. These are Republicans who in many cases have spent their entire careers supporting conservative causes. The fact that so many high-profile Republicans are now publicly distancing themselves from Trump is a sign that the former president's influence within the party may be waning. This internal rebellion is not only a blow to Trump's ego, but it also raises serious questions about his ability to unite the party ahead of the 2024 election. Greg Kelly's attack on George W. Bush during his Newsmax segment was not just a critique, it was a full-blown assault. Kelly accused Bush of turning his back on the conservative values he once championed, and he painted Harris as the antithesis of everything Bush stood for.
Guess who might just be on the fence and thinking about endorsing Kamala Harris? George W. Bush. Remember that guy? Yeah. Word is, he's contemplating an endorsement of Kamala